Hey everyone, and welcome back to SkillSpark, the place where we master the skills of tomorrow, today. Now, what if I told you that you could build software not by writing lines of perfect code, but just by describing it, by explaining the vibe you're going for? It might sound like science fiction, but it's a new reality in AI-powered software development. It's called vibe coding. In this video, we'll demystify what it is and count down the top AI tools that let you turn simple ideas into functional code faster than ever before. We do jump into explainer video, which will help you to understand more. Let's spark a new skill.
Welcome to our deep dive into AI-powered software development. Today, we're unraveling the concept of vibe coding and exploring the top tools shaping the future of programming. Vibe coding is a revolutionary approach where developers use natural language to express their intentions, and AI systems translate those intentions into working code. Coined by OpenAI's Andrej Karpathy in early 2025, it's a significant shift from manual coding to a more intuitive collaboration between humans and AI. Vibe coding operates on two main levels, starting with the code-level workflow, which involves a conversational loop to refine specific pieces of code. First, you describe your goal with a high-level prompt, such as, create a Python function that reads a CSV file. The AI assistant then interprets your request. Next, the AI generates the initial code. You then execute and observe the generated code to check if it functions as intended. If the output isn't correct or an error occurs, you provide feedback and new instructions. For example, add error handling for when the file is not found. This loop of describing, generating, testing, and refining continues until the code is complete. Beyond individual code snippets, vibe coding also applies to the broader application lifecycle, taking an idea from concept to a deployed application. The process begins with ideation, where you describe the entire application in a high-level prompt. The AI then generates the initial version, including the user interface, back-end logic, and file structure. After generation, you enter an iterative refinement phase, testing the application and using follow-up prompts to add or modify features. Finally, a human expert reviews the application for security, quality, and correctness before deployment, often with a single click. Vibe coding differs significantly from traditional programming by shifting the focus from manual, line-by-line code writing to guiding an AI assistant. In traditional programming, code creation is manual and line-by-line. In vibe coding, AI generates code from natural language prompts. The developer's role shifts from architect and implementer to prompter, guide, tester, and refiner. Traditional programming requires deep knowledge of languages and syntax, while vibe coding has a lower barrier to entry, focusing on desired functionality. Vibe coding is potentially faster for prototyping, and error handling relies on conversational feedback rather than manual debugging. The market for vibe coding tools is diverse, with solutions for various needs. Let's look at some of the leading tools available in 2025. Leading AI-native IDEs like Cursor, a fork of VS Code, offer deep AI connections for maximum productivity. Windsurf is another advanced agentic code editor that provides proactive understanding of entire projects. In AI coding assistance, we have powerful foundational models. Claude, from Anthropic, excels at nuanced dialogue and advanced reasoning. Cody, from SourceGraph, offers deep understanding of company codebases. ChatGPT by OpenAI is a versatile, general-purpose AI tool. And GitHub Copilot acts as an AI pair programmer directly in your IDE. AI application platforms like Lovable AI allow building full-stack web applications conversationally. Replit is a cloud-based platform for building, collaborating, and deploying software, now AI first. Bolt, by StackBlitz, generates full-stack web apps from natural language. And Tempo Labs focuses on speeding up React app development with a visual drag-and-drop editor and AI code generation. Google Cloud also offers its own set of vibe coding tools. For beginners, there's Google AI Studio for single-prompt app generation. Firebase Studio helps with full-stack generation for intermediate users. And for professional developers, Gemini Code Assist provides in-editor assistance for code generation, explanation, and testing. Choosing the right vibe coding tool depends on your specific needs, risk tolerance, and budget. Whether you're a business developer, a startup founder, or an individual power user, there's an AI-powered solution for you. The future of software development is here, and it's vibrant with possibility.
Now let us jump into an explainer video.
All right, let's talk about a massive shift that's happening right now in how we build software. We're moving away from that old school, line by line, super precise way of coding and into something that feels a lot more like a conversation. You know that feeling, right? You're just hanging out and bam, this amazing idea for an app just hits you. But then that next thought creeps in. How the heck would I even start to build that? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. That gap between a great idea and actually making it real has always been a huge roadblock. But here's the thing. We're already using AI to solve problems all the time. Think about it. We don't hesitate to ask it for help with small, everyday stuff, like, hey, can you whip up a healthy meal plan for me for the week? Or maybe you're totally stumped on a birthday gift. You just type something like, give me some gift ideas for my friend who's into yoga and home workouts. It's basically become our instant brainstorming partner. And, of course, the classic one, drafting that really tricky email you've been avoiding all day. We've all used AI to get the tone just right. My point is, we are already totally comfortable having a conversation with AI to get stuff done. So, what if we could take that exact same conversational style and apply it to that big app idea of yours? What if you could literally just talk your software into existence? Well, that's not science fiction anymore. That's where things are headed. And this whole idea of talking software into existence, it's starting to get a name that you're going to hear more and more: vibe coding. It's all about taking a feeling, an idea, a vibe, and translating that directly into a real working app. And here's the key difference, right? Vibe coding isn't about knowing Python or JavaScript. Your main input isn't code, it's just plain English. You describe what you want, and the AI steps in to be the engineer that actually builds it. So the whole process looks a lot more like a back and forth chat. You start with your big idea, the AI spits out the first version. Then you go back and forth, refining it, adding features with new prompts. Hey, can you add a login button here? Then, a human expert still needs to check the work, make sure it's solid. And finally, you can often deploy the whole thing with just one last prompt, or a click. This slide really nails the difference. Traditional coding is powerful, but man, that learning curve is steep. Vibe coding just smashes that barrier to entry, which means way more people can build prototypes super fast. It's a total shift in thinking. You go from being the person laying every single brick to being the architect who's just directing the whole construction. Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, but what are people actually using to do this stuff today? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the modern Vibe Coders toolkit. Right now, you can pretty much sort these tools into two big buckets. On one side, you've got these autonomous AI engineers, which are trying to act like a junior developer you can just hand a whole feature to. And on the other side, you've got AI pair programmers, which are more like a super smart assistant that lives inside your code editor, helping you move faster. So let's check out a few examples. A tool like Lovable AI is perfect for a founder who can't code. It's all about raw speed, getting a prototype up and running in no time. The catch? You might run into limits on what you can ask it to do. Then there's GitHub Copilot, which almost every developer uses now. It's like autocomplete on steroids. The downside is it's easy to start relying on it a little too much. And then you have the really heavy-duty stuff like Windsurf, which can read your entire code base to make huge changes. But that kind of power is expensive. It can burn through your credits like crazy. But what's really fascinating is what's happening out in the real world. People are starting to chain these tools together. I mean, check out this comment from a user on Reddit. They're using one AI, Gemini, to come up with the plan, and then feeding those instructions to another AI, Claude, to actually write the code. It's this wild multi-agent workflow, and it's happening right now. But look, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like any game-changing technology, the opportunities here are massive, but so are the risks. So we've got to look at the whole picture: the good, the bad, and the ugly. First up, the good stuff. And honestly, the benefits are huge, and you feel them immediately. The speed boost is just insane. AI can automate all that boring, repetitive grunt work, which frees up developers to focus on the hard, creative problems. Plus, it's an incredible learning tool for junior devs, showing them best practices as they go. Okay, now for the bad. The real-world challenges you gotta watch out for. A huge one is over-reliance. If you just blindly accept every suggestion the AI makes without understanding why, you're gonna be in a world of hurt when things eventually break. And for businesses, there are serious privacy questions. When you feed your secret sauce code into these models, where is it going? And this leads us to one of the biggest gotchas with AI, a term called hallucination. This is when the AI just confidently makes stuff up. In coding, that means it might create a function that looks totally legit, but is actually broken or does something completely random. And yeah, it happens more than you'd think. There's this fantastic quote from the author Ted Chiang that just explains it perfectly. He says, to think of an AI model like a blurry JPEG of the internet. It's a compressed version of all that information. So, of course, when it tries to rebuild something from that blurry image, it's going to have to invent some details to fill in the gaps. Those inventions are the hallucinations. And that brings us to the ugly. These are the deeper, more complicated questions we as an industry are going to have to wrestle with. Will these tools make it harder for junior developers to get the experience they need to become seniors? What about the fact that AI trained on old code might just keep perpetuating old bugs and security flaws? And then there's the whole legal mess around who actually owns AI-generated code. It's murky, to say the least. So with all of this chaos and change, what does the future actually hold for the people who build software? How is their job going to evolve? This is it, right? The billion-dollar question that's on every developer's mind. If these tools can write code all by themselves, does that mean the human programmer is about to go extinct? While the consensus from the experts is a pretty clear no, AI is not going to replace programmers. But, and this is a big but, it is going to fundamentally change what a programmer does. The focus is shifting away from just writing the code to higher-level thinking. See, the developer of the future is less of a line-by-line coder and much more of an architect. Their job is to design the overall system, to be an expert at writing the perfect prompts, and, most importantly, to be the human validator who ensures the AI's work is high quality, secure, and actually correct. Human creativity and judgment just became more valuable than ever. Look, we are at a moment in time where the barrier to creating something new is lower than it has ever been. That gap between a brilliant idea and a working product is shrinking by the day. So the real question now isn't just about what you can build, it's about how you're going to lead these incredibly powerful new tools to build it the right way.